Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Shane Lorenz, the head football coach at Bath. How's it going?
It's going good.
All right. So, getting ready for a big game this week against Stockbridge after a tough loss to Fowler last week. Overall, what's the mindset heading into this big week?
For us, it's all about, picking ourselves back up, right? So really Fowler is a fantastic team. I think everybody kind of sees that now. And I saw that even a couple of guys have started rating them number one in D8. But they should be. They deserve it. They're very good on the edges. For me, it's about teaching our team how to handle that adversity, right? We had adversity a little bit last season. This season, not so much. I mean, we played in a close PW game, but adversity when you kind of get kicked in the teeth, right? And you need to get up. So this week, obviously preparing for Stockbridge is a whole new challenge. They love to throw the football as well. We're very good in the box. We've been very good at defending the run. So now we really have to put the pieces together on the edges to make sure that doesn't happen again.
So what do you do in those kinds of situations on the edges there? What are some of the things that you've kind of worked on there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of these teams and a lot of teams, including ourselves and anybody that's coming in the future now, offenses are changing. Offenses are changing to be better on the edges. And what I mean by that is, bubble screens, quick screens within trips bunch formats. And, really it's about how do you play that flat? How do you get up into that flat and how do you flow to the ball? So we really are emphasizing to our DBs, man, you can't drop 3 yards into coverage when you're already at 10. You can't go to 13 yards when they're running a bubble at 1 yard or behind the line of scrimmage, right? Because they're blocking already. So that's really what we're emphasizing is playing that flat, not getting blocked by receivers because you can't accept a block. And really our emphasis on our defensive ends is even more important because we have been very good at, again, defending the run, sitting and staying home. Now it's about, let's get to that quarterback a little bit this week because they like to run around and they like to wing the ball around.
Yeah. Going into this week, really, who impressed? I mean, some of the guys that really have, stood out for this team all season long. Who are those guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be consistent with our offense. I mean, Bradley Allman obviously has done a lot for us. He's over 500 yards rushing in the 4 games. He's got 7-8 touchdowns already as well. But Max Perry on defense, the harder part is I feel like teams are doing what I kind of expect, and that's trying to throw the ball on us because Max Perry's in the middle and they don't want to run it at him. And our D-line and linebackers have handled that very well. So those two guys have been kind of a staple, but interesting going into this week. Our DBs are up to the challenge. We have guys that we put in, I would say, a little tougher scenario, knowing that Fowler's that good on the edge now. We probably would change a few things, but I've been impressed by one of our sophomores on varsity. His name's Aiden Briggs. He had a really good week actually against Fowler. And then this week in practice, he's doing a good job as well. But I have an expectation from Jake Chrysler and Ethan Wicks and Cole Chamberlain. And now Bradley's kind of stepping back over to that defensive role to be able to cover these guys. And really, we are going to change some things. I'm not going to share all that. We are going to change some things, a little bit of looks that people haven't seen. So throwing something new at people is always something you can't prepare for.
Absolutely. Going into this week, what are some of the things that you've looked? I'm probably pretty sure you've looked at Stockbridge on film. What are some of the things that they do that you're going to have to really combat?
Yeah, I mean, they take those quick passes. I mean, that's number one. They love, to be able to throw the ball, number one. They throw the ball 40, 50 times a game. I can't remember the quarterback's name. Is it Rogzinski or something like that? He threw for 460 yards against Hart, which is a playoff team. So, it's it's really about being in the correct positions, doing the right things, and that quarterback scrambles around and makes plays after the. I'm pretty sure you can tell that their receivers are in tune to breaking off plays and making plays downfield because they scramble and they make plays by not just continuing into the route, right? So really it's about being disciplined for the entirety of the play with your defense.
Okay, so going into this game, what do you feel like after just a really tough loss last week? What's it been like just trying to get everybody back together?
Yeah, I mean, we basically said, we have to practice better and play, practice always translates to games. So it's about better scout reps. It's about showing our defense exactly what we need to do. And our team has kind of stepped into that role this week. More live reps actually helps. There's so many rules with the MHSAA that you can't tackle, so we just don't tackle, but it's really about that game speed that you have to simulate to be able to do these things. So for me personally, it's about, again, hammering home those things that I just talked about, blocking in the flats and not getting blocked by a receiver and being physical at the ball. We have been working hard this week on doing those things.
Yeah. All right. Well, Shane, thanks so much for coming on, and best of luck this week against Stockbridge.
Sounds good. Thanks, man.